Let's get to the other game that on paper is the more intriguing game, but who knows about that.
I think it's because the style, it's so intriguing. Me and Roman were talking just a few minutes ago, and I think Michigan-Georgia is almost like Joe Frazier, Mike Tyson. So we've seen Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali when they face Alabama, just two super different styles. And, you have Muhammad Ali, that's the flair and everything, and that's Alabama. But now you have two power punchers that are throwing uppercuts back and forth. And I think that's what makes it so exciting, as I'm excited to watch the offense versus the defensive line. I'm excited to watch two quarterbacks that have been I think underrated, but also kind of talked down to a lot this year. I'm excited to watch running backs that run hard. I think it's just two similar styles of play. That's the physical matchup, and something's got to give. And we don't get that a lot now in college football. And I know I'm a quarterback, but, man, I still love the physical play. And I think that's what's really intriguing and exciting about this game.
In terms of what Michigan does well, and most of us have seen Michigan a couple of times, not often though. When you look at them on film, what impresses you the most?
A lot of heart, a lot of fight in their team. They play very hard. I think they have a really good defensive line, good linebackers, good secondary. But, man, I think their defensive line for their defense is what really makes the day for them and gives them a chance. They get after the running game, they get after the quarterback, and then on offense, they pound the rock. I think they got an underrated offensive line. I think it's going to be one of the better offensive lines that Georgia has faced this year. And then they have timely plays. You look at their big games, and it's close. They punch a big run. They get a big pass. They bring in a backup quarterback who keeps it, and JJ, and makes some plays. So you look at their offense, and stats-wise, you say they're not necessarily great. They don't, overwhelm you when you put on the tape. But in big situations, when the game is really close, they make timely plays. And I think there's a little bit of competitive excellence in this offense. Like, we might not have put up the same stats that Alabama and Ohio State have, but you know what? If it's close in the fourth quarter, we're going to make a play.
On the Georgia side, we've heard a couple of guests already talk about you don't really get a second chance very often, especially at the end of the season. But in Georgia's case, there's no reason to obsess over what happened in Atlanta because they have a clean slate. Take us inside that mindset.
I think one of the scariest things to face is a team that has been wounded but still has life. And I think if they can shore up a few things on defense and Stetson plays well, and I think this is going to be a very hungry Georgia team that realizes that they were going through the season and it was perfect. And then they hit a juggernaut in Alabama and kind of got dethroned a little bit, but now they have another chance. You don't see that a lot in college football, and I think you're going to see, because of their leadership, and I don't mean coaches, I mean player leadership. Right. I think you're going to see a hungry team that plays much harder than they did in the SEC championship and much more fundamentally sound than they did in the SEC championship. And that's what I think is so intriguing about this game. What Georgia team comes out? I think you're going to see a team that plays very similar to how they played against Clemson week 1, where they were just flying around and everything was on the line.
Tim Tebow, thank you very much. I don't know what we're right next to the field, so they're working some kinks out. Don't let it bother you.
We're working kinks out too.
I hate to see you leave because I'm going to have to deal with it. Tim, thanks.
I'm going to go talk to him.
Go, please. If you walk out there, they will stop. I can assure you.
Not true.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.